It's sad how this nation used to be something. Probably get banned for this music, except for I'm not getting banned anymore. Now I can fucking talk about the Jews and fucking controlling shit, and they're not banning me on Facebook. Well, they're banning me, but it's not working. I can just keep talking, and they keep banning me, and it's not doing shit. But look, man, this nation is trash. Fucking look at this. I'm at this mall, and this is like every mall. It's just like dead. They have like they're rebuilding like arcade games using stuff from like the 60s or something. Like the whole place is dead. Like everything's shut down here. It's a complete little game they got going on, man. They'll probably censor this because this garbage music that no one wants to hear anyways, but they're getting paid to play it because these malls are part of the propaganda and stuff. These malls are like, I mean, let's keep it real. Like, this music is like propaganda. It's designed to suppress your thinking and be like, ooh, I'm so happy I'm shopping. Ooh, I feel so good. Fucking garbage music, man. But let me tell you, fucking, this shit is shut down, dude. This shit is empty. Look how empty this parking lot is out here. There's like nothing going on. This nation's like stagnant. It's dead. It's destroyed. It's rotting from the inside. There is no stopping this. This is a natural cycle of life. This isn't God intervening. This is God's creation intervening with what's happening in this world. And of course, we have the parasites on top of it. The parasites have watched this world for thousands of years and probably watched other worlds for a long time. So they understand whatever this system is. Maybe it's a completely contained system and I'm just seeing their system at work. But, you know, the creator of the system, it's like not a detailed system. You don't have to see a million things to understand it. You can be shown a few of the cycles and you might not get it at first. If they tell you about the sun cycle, the moon cycle, stuff like that, you won't get that shit at first. You won't link it together. They're not telling you to link it together. They don't want you to link all the fucking knowledge together. They want to keep it from you. Actually, you know, I say that, but sometimes it's like they've hidden, like the world's like a game and they've hidden the treasure. And you gotta find it, and it's there to find if you want. And then you gotta like be smart enough to get to their inner circle. You've got to be smart enough to unlock the secrets. They've left the secrets open. They've left all the secrets open. I don't know if that's a flaw in their design where they're not smart enough to fucking be able to manipulate that great. They just have a will to manipulate. They're just not the best at it. But this empire goes down because it's fucking trash. It's fucking like you sit and let a piece of bread fucking, you bake it, it's good at first, it's fresh. You know, as you bake it, it rises and everything, you know, it turns into all that material you put into it. But then it like rises and it's fresh. You might add something on top of it, make it taste even better. Then slowly it gets worse, dried out and stale. And then mold begins to grow, and it's weird how like mold grows in like different colors and varieties, like slowly, like a good, like a semi-helpful mold starts, but after that, like a semi-poisonous one starts, and then after that one, like a third level of poison starts. So what we're seeing isn't like Black Lives Matter, really. It isn't like it isn't COVID. It's the end of an empire. It's the fall of an empire. And they're trying to prevent that. They're trying to derail that. I think the empire is slightly separate from the aliens. From, the the J people, and like they think they're like puppets who can like break free, but they're not. They're just puppets, period. So the Empire, I think, tries to be separate. They're like, we're not like them. It's like, no, you just took everything from them and you used their entire system. So you're not like them, but that's the flaw. That's the flaw in your design is you're not like them. You're not thinking on their level. You're thinking on a very twisted and sick level. That's what they get out of life. You know, like I do something sick and twisted these days, and it's like, shit, I remember when I was a kid, I did shit like that, like on purpose, and if I would evaluate it, I'd be like, no, maybe we don't fucking stab people no more. You know, maybe we don't bust people's skulls open with boulders anymore. Fucking, maybe we try to act different. Maybe we try to act more humane, but it's like these people don't fucking learn or some shit. Whatever they are, people, whatever. Fucking. But the decline of the empire here, it's not about Black Lives Matter. It's not about fucking COVID. It's not about Open Ohio. It's not about Open USA. It's a decline. It's the decline of Western civilization. Why is it even called West? We fucking conquered fucking most of the globe. What the fuck? Yeah, that's another mind game. That's one of their passive aggressive mind game tactics, right? They, I call it the Roman Empire passive aggressive language manipulation. That's exactly what it is. There's no more direct, no more detail. There's no more needed to learn than the passive aggressive language manipulation. Once you learn those words and what they mean, you can analyze everything else through a different lens. And some of these races lack it. Like the different races are different. Like they brag in one outlet, they brought us from different stars systems and put us all together for a show, for a universal TV show. Which, I mean, that doesn't make them any terrorists or criminals or anything the less. There's also stories out there that could combine with stuff like that. There's also stories out there that there's two higher species on this planet, and one of them is just not a total savage manipulation group, and they have to like work within who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like black people kind of can't get some of this shit, like the passive aggressive language manipulation of the Roman Empire works very well on them. They're always the people they go after first. They always go to manipulate them first. They go to manipulate them into being slaves everywhere. They go to manipulate them into being their foot soldiers on the street. You can see at the Open Ohio videos, none of that shit fucking was really aggressive or anything, but they got them to act up at the fucking other shit. They got them to act up at the Black Lives Matter. And it's not that they shouldn't. This would be a natural cycle, I think, in the world. The way they've built it. It would all be natural cycles to some extent. I think they understand all this stuff too. I think they use mind control, I mean, obviously, they use the media to mind control and shit and censor stuff they don't want out there. Like, censor me. They use these devices. Man. But this shit's just in decay. There's really not much they can do about it. Like, it was built how it was built. And you need that system to maintain the structural integrity, but you can't do that because it rots. Like the inner cities have like the important buildings, but they're rotten. They rebuild some of them, but it really doesn't help them too much. This shit's like empty, man. Walmart is packed. And now that doesn't fucking help that we have these scumbags shutting down the economy and forcing everyone to go to Walmart over there, right? Like, that doesn't help. No, any small place. Sears was already gone out of business. So it was already bankrupt. So. But, I mean, that's just a sign of the collapse that's been happening. Most of you probably involved in politics want Alex Jones or want the TYT or Fox News. But I mean, the real information is not on that. The real information is looking at economic reports and looking at the fiscal earnings and losses of America. And it's been in decline for a long time. It's been in decline. Like people have been saying for a long time, this stuff is coming. I'm not the first to say half of this stuff. I'm the first to say the other half of this stuff is going to happen. But the decline coming, like people just would say, like, it's going to be a lot worse. Like, I don't even want to get into it and stuff. It's like, yeah, well, you know, they probably knew more of what was happening considering they're part of the system. But you got Schiff and Jones, Alex Jones, fucking obvious Israeli agents. The usual usury, the ones we always have to kick out of our nation. Ban usury. The church has banned usury before because it's predatory and they believe in just helping people and not putting interest on help. The church believes in not making people repay debt because they receive money from people with it, willing to give it out. And then if you're in a time of need, the pastor might walk up to your family and give you some cash. Something like that. That's what the church is for. That's like people want to make fun of religion and all that. But it's like these groups are like cultural, racial, tribal organizations. And at least on the face, many of them try to be like good places, try to judge their own people peacefully. Like, look at the Jewish communities. The Jewish communities have their own first responders. That's what I'm out there telling Black Lives Matter they need to do. That's what I'm out there telling white people they need to do. Although I don't talk to many white people, because when I talk to white people, it's like I'm talking to a fucking scared little rabbit or something. Or I'm telling you, it's like its first attack, its first thought usually is to fucking sink its teeth into me and shit. And you can tell it's just like a scared fucking rabbit, though. But you scare them the fuck off and they run away. So you can't really fucking talk to them. But I was telling the Black Lives Matter people about the Jewish communities, first responders, because they're like, give it to the police and this and that. I'm like, well, you know what works better? Because cops have fucked me up before. Is when you deal with like some small town cops who like know the people in the town. They're like more friendly. See, in the inner city, they ship the cops and everyone out of their own neighborhood. So they're policing people they don't know and they don't care about really. And it doesn't end up very well. It doesn't work out very well when they do that. There's no emotional feedback. There's no knowing the people to better understand who's telling the truth in a story, which doesn't sound too judicial to do. But if you know a crackhead who acts like I shouldn't even make fun of crack users, right? If you know someone who acts like a fucknut, then you know someone who's probably acting like a fucknut again, right? And you can fucking It's profiling, kind of. I had some small town cops do that once. They didn't even know me, and I was like, "Man, this person's making up shit." And they're like, "Yeah, we know her," and I'm like, "Fucking okay." And I was just telling them the story of what really happened. Like, her boyfriend probably beat her up and made her say some shit she didn't. That didn't really happen. Uh, so the cops just let me off. And that's what you need. You need some local first responders. You need people who care about the community, know the people in the community. And that's what they do in the Jewish communities. They have their own first responders. You didn't know that, did you? No, of course not, because it's not something for you to know. But we learned this through Michael Hastings' death. Michael Hastings was a reporter who reported on the wars, probably got too close to, probably behind closed doors, was saying words that you're not allowed to say, like talking about these people, these beings who control all this stuff like this. And although I'm not sure how much they control it, if I've had protection recently. Maybe they're losing control. I think they're losing control. But his car accelerated real fast and killed him. That's the danger of these electronic cars, is they can just play games with them. You don't understand technology at all, and I'm telling you as a person who understands technology that I don't understand technology, because they're far advanced and there's stuff that we don't know out here. You think you're being tracked or something by this device and that device now, and I don't believe that. I believe they've been tracking us maybe forever. But the first responders showed up to Michael Hastings' death. They were the first to show up in that community. And so the cops and paramedics on the scene had plenty of time to clean stuff up as well. But that's what all communities should have. They should have something like that. And the black community should have that, to keep normal cops out of their area. If they want normal cops out, have their own people in there. And that's what people should do. And then we'll start seeing who these people are, because if we start interrupting the judicial system, then their system falls apart, because we become the system.